an amazing story that came out yesterday. Ian Collins was talking about it, and this is the one where people from Peta, people for the ethical treatment of animals, are calling for a sex strike against men that eat meat. Apparently you shouldn't be having sex with men that eat meat, because if you do, you'll be killing off the world, and you'll be doing a lot better to have sex with men who don't eat meat. We thought there's only one person to talk to about this. It is, of course, relationship expert Nadia Essex. Nadia, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, listen, I've heard of a lot of reasons of having a sex strike, but not over hamburgers, to be honest. What do you make of this?
I mean, it's absolutely bonkers, and typical. It's come from Germany by the sounds of it. So,
oh, really?
You know,
the Germans love taking their clothes off, it seems to me. Every time you go to Germany, there's somebody running around naked.
Yeah, well, I think they might be trying to put a stop to that. But I just think, you know, it's one of those bonkers messages that Peter's sending out. That, you know, they used to be quite, not reputable, but respectable.
Yeah.
You could understand, you know, that what they were doing. But in recent years, it just seems like they keep coming out with these outrageous headlines just to get press. And actually, they're making a fool of the whole organisation and what they stand for. And the second thing that's outrageous is how come it's the women who have to put a sex ban on the men?
Yeah.
Why can't they just say men don't have sex?
Right.
Why has it got to be women put a sex ban on your men? Why
Yes.
have we got to get involved?
Well, exactly right. And how dare they assume that women are having sex with men anyway? I mean, surely they might be having sex with a number of different non-binary individuals, and indeed women. You know, that's possible.
Course. And the thing is about Peter is they're like, literally, if you can continue to have sex with men who eat meat, the world's going to end. Well, if you listen to Elon Musk, the bigger problem than climate change is population collapse.
Yes.
And Peter are actually saying you shouldn't have children. You should literally abstain from sex until your man stops eating meat. So it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they want. They literally are going to be the only people left eating, you know, food from the ground, but very isolated, because we're all going to die out, and it's just going to be them.
Well, exactly right. I mean, we're looking at some footage while you speak of these maniacs, women dressed in some very odd underwear, seemingly being sort of sprayed with fake blood. I mean, it is becoming like a religion. It's like some kind of medieval weirdo cult, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like recent or whether they've always been this kind of deranged, but I don't know. I'm just getting really fed up of all these sort of good causes who are not doing good. You know, whether it's Extinction Rebellion or gluing themselves to stuff, or, you know, disrupting people's lives, or not letting mums take their kids to school. I'm just getting a bit sick of it all. Like, you know, yes, we want to do good, and yes, there's ways to do good, but this isn't it. But having a sex ban, no. Can you imagine how angry people would be if they stopped having sex?
Well, I can't possibly think of what that would be like. What about what about if you don't go completely vegan, but you sort of go vegetarian? Would that be allowed? I mean, could you have some sex then, or maybe if you went pescatarian and just ate fish, you could have a bit of sex.
Yeah, no, just a little fumble.
Just an appetizer.
Just an appetizer, yeah. Just dip your wick, and then that's a little bit, and then that's, you know, job done.
Yeah,
exactly. It's bonkers to think that they've said this, and not as a joke. They've put out an actual statement, and they really stand by this, and it is making the whole organisation laughable, because ultimately we probably should cut down on eating animal products, and you know, the contribution to climate change is huge with all the cows and their barking and farting and all the things they're doing. But this isn't the way to get people to do it.
It really isn't. I mean, they've got to come up with a better incentive, I think, haven't they? How about, you know, people have always said to me, you know, in politics, if you give somebody an incentive to do something rather than a warning not to do something, it gets people more. So say, for example, what they should have said was, if you go vegan, you can have more sex.
Yeah. I mean,
even with some of those, with Helga, the German in the underwear there.
We'd still be talking about it if they had done that. That's what's crazy about this. You don't have to have negativity to get the headlines. If they had said, vegans have better sex, have sex with a vegan woman, we'd still have been talking about it.
Right.
But now we're talking about it with our eyes rolled and huffing and puffing and just dismissing it. and actually the message isn't getting through. Nobody is going to listen to that statement and go, oh, yes, I'm going to stop eating meat.
Also, it's made everybody think of vegans having sex with each other, which is not very good for thing to think about just before lunch, to be honest.
Well, even meat eaters, you know, just what people do in the safety and comfort of their own bedrooms is up to them.
It's so good to know you're such a traditionalist, Nadia. Thank you very much indeed. Nadia Essex there, relationship expert, quite rightly talking absolute sense. I mean, these vegans have gone completely barking, stark staring bonkers mad, haven't they?